up. It should say Allegory group work. Alright. Now, let's go ahead and read this together. There's your standard, right? The same thing. Analyzing a case in which grasping a point of view requires distinguishing what is directly stated in a text than what is actually really meant, right? There's a difference between what you're reading and reading between the lines, right? You've heard that statement before. Okay? So directions. Notice how everybody's name's up here? Everybody is looking at this document. It is considered a live document. What does that mean? Does anybody know what that means? It's a live document.
That means everyone can type on it at the same time.
Yep, everybody can type on this, okay? So, each member of each group, you're going to be sitting with your groups together, okay? So, once I'm done with the directions, go sit with your group members. Each member of each group will answer the following questions by typing your own responses under each question. So notice how each group has, you're labeled here, right? So, when you are typing your answer, your individual answer, it needs to be in the same color that your name is. So, Frank, what color would your responses all be in?
That orange.
That orange, right? Okay? Not only will you type these into a document, you will also be discussing each group member's opinions as a group. So let's say group 1, Angela, Ray, Roy, Frank, and Megan. Well, Angela's not here today, so Roy, Frank, and Megan, you're going to sit together, you're going to ask these questions, you're going to all three talk, and then you're going to type your own responses. Okay, does anybody have any questions about that? Grant.
So it's like, for example, in my group, I would type mine, and below mine, the next person would type theirs, or is it?
Yeah, as long as you stay in the color that you're chosen, you type it, and then they're going to type below you or above you. It doesn't matter, okay? Because then I can tell that's yours, okay? All right, so our groups. Angela, Ray, Roy, Frank, Megan, you're going to sit together. Coda, Corinne, Alex, Angela E. Grant, Donovan, Stephen, Nathan. Casey, Joanne, Dylan, and Caitlin. Gabby, Hunter, DJ, Stevie. Vanessa, Ethan, Sierra, Alan. Alan P, Evan, and Zach. Now, let's go over these questions together. Who would like to read question 1? You all should be able to see it. Angela E.
What does the cave represent?
What does the cave represent? Okay, so again, you're going to look at that question. All of you are going to ask each other what you think the cave represents, and then you will type in your correct colors. Number 2, who wants to read that? Gabby.
Plato's point of view can be considered melancholy yet realistic. Why?
So, we don't really know the term melancholy, but let's use our context clues here. What do you think the term melancholy might stand for, Roy?
Kind of depressing.
Depressing! Why do you think that?
Oh, I just kind of knew it.
Oh, you just kind of knew it? You had a little in. Anybody else want? John?
Because it's sad, because it's just melancholy yet realistic, so I'm assuming that it seems too bad to be true.
Okay, I like that. Alright, so why do you think Plato thinks the story is melancholy, but it's also realistic at the same time? Okay, yes.
Well, it's kind of melancholy or depressed because
Oh,
once
are you going to do this with your group? You're going to answer this with your group, or are you telling me the answer? It's okay. I'm excited. Hold it in. Okay. Question 3. The text speaks of being shackled to a wall and prisoners and only knowing what is in front of them. What is Plato really describing? This really hits that standard of what is really being taught here. You're not just reading that there are people shackled in the story, right? What is the real meaning behind the story? Okay, so why do you think this? And then this is the big one. Use at least 2 vocabulary terms in your answer, each person. Okay, so up here are your vocab words. You should know these, and you have the papers in front of you if you'd like to keep those in front of you, okay? So, why do you think he's really writing about people being shackled to a cave and only seeing what's in front of them? Okay, and use at least 2 vocab terms to answer it. Alright, and then question 4, who wants to read that one? Vanessa.
Why is the story an allegory?
Why is the story an allegory? That rhymes. Okay? Why isn't it an allegory? We know what an allegory is, but why is the story one? And question 5, Joanne, you want to read that for me?
Write one question you have about the reading. Discuss the question with your partners.
Okay, so this one's a little different than the rest. Each time you're discussing together and then writing, Your last question, number 5, is you need to write a question down and then discuss it with your group. Does that make sense with everyone? All right, do we have any questions before we start? Alex?
How is this gonna work for me?
Vocal. Okay, so because instead of using your notebook, we'll just have you write, and then maybe your group members, so Angelique, Corinne, Dakota, maybe they'll write it for you. How's that? I'm sure they will. Okay? Evan?
So technically, there's supposed to be like 3 or 4 answers for each question, not just one question for the group.
Yes, so in A block, they did this. I'll show you what theirs looks like. Notice how each person's has, there should be at least 4, or however many people are in your group, there should be that many questions per, or answers per question. Now, why am I allowing you to just keep working on the same document? Think about this. Remember, we're not thinking literal, we're thinking more abstract here. Okay, why am I allowing everybody to see the same questions on the same document? Alan? Okay, you're supposed to do it from your point of view, yes. You're getting closer, Dakota.
So you can compare everyone's perspective?
Yes and no, kind of. What did we talk about yesterday with shoes? Remember the analogy about tennis shoes? And about being in a cave, right? How they kind of relate? Does anybody remember? Vanessa?
So that each one of us could understand how another person thinks about a certain subject.
Okay, a little more. We're so close, we're right there. Think about this. Remember the analogy? We get a new pair of shoes. Or we have a favorite pair of shoes, right? Everybody has a pair of shoes that they love to death, and they're super comfortable. But then you go out and buy a new pair. What happens when you buy a new pair of shoes and you put your foot in there? Go on.
It feels different.
It's like, whoa, I forgot how comfortable shoes can be, right? What's the analogy I'm making here? What's the analogy? Dakota?
Seeing someone else's perspective is supposed to change your life in some kind of way,
And put you in a
different point of view.
out of your
Comfort zone.
comfort zones, right? A lot of us are really eerie and like worried that people are gonna say something about what we write. Okay? You gotta step out of the comfort zone a little bit and feel comfortable with talking about things. Okay? Any questions at all about this? Alright, so sit with your group members. How about we do group 1 up here, group 2 over where Vanessa kind of is, group 3 in the back, 4 over here, 5, 6, and then 7 kind of find a spot. Okay, figure it out.
Oh, we're not here?
Nope, we're gonna
Yeah,
So, you wanna
just move around, find a spot.
grab one? Joanne, we're back there. Oh, I thought you were
Have everybody come here.
left spot there.
Where's group 5?
Sorry. There's
I
some
just kinda lost
spots
my spot
here.
there.
This is group 4.
There's a chair over there as well. There. Right in your group.
What's the question? No, it's just a video. This guy.
Oh my god.
Are you ready? Okay, thank you.
This feels like it's not good for her.
You can move the desk.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, you can move the desks around if you feel like you're not talking in groups, I don't mind.
I like that, yeah.
Okay, never mind.
We'll give group 5.
Oh, I changed my.
Yeah, I changed my color. Try to do that dark color.
Get out of here.
Ethan, get out of here.
Dude, why does stuff keep moving around? Yeah, that changes.
You keep it from
Yeah,
You live a sheltered life where
as
you're
long
only
as it's
talking.
not the same color.
Wait, we can change it?
Yes, if you need to, but just don't be the same color as someone
You want it
else.
purple? I had Prince color and I was like, I'll do.
I don't care.
I worked so hard on doing those colors and you guys are just banishing the colors, I see how it is.
It is now.
That's what happens in a document where everyone's like,
That's true.
I can't be red, so
Sorry.
I'm stuck at 30 yellow.
Remember, you are talking with your groups first, and then you are writing your responses.
Why?
Just go like straight yellow.
Yeah, realistic.
This is teacher guys.
Dave represents.
This is teacher guys.
Says teacher died, why is depressing?
Well, maybe you can just say because
No. Writing our responses.
No.
oh, is the whole document like
Yeah,
almost?
it's crazy, man.
I'm gonna give you guys until about 10:15. I hope you can be done before that, because then we'll come back together and share, okay?
Dude, quick autocorrect in my stuff. That's for work.
It is, it really is. It's really coloring, it's so pretty, but awful.
Did you click on mine?
Like, I bet you you're at it.
Watch stories.
Make it look like
It's getting bigger and bigger.
I don't understand the set questions that's.
Okay, what is it? What's
melancholy.
melancholy? Okay, so what do you think the word melancholy means, if you think realistic?
I have no idea, honestly.
What do your partners think?
They said it means sad.
Okay, so if something's sad but it's realistic, why is he telling the story of the allegory of the cave?
Because it's kind of how things are,
There you
but
go.
people don't want to admit it.
Okay, and then just elaborate on that. Good job.
I feel like it's considered melancholy and realistic at the same time because the truth of reality is depressing.
I don't know.
Just because like, once you put PH,
I said because
if you
he
think
lost someone
differently,
that he was able to
you're
learn.
gonna be like outcasted. And
So if he was
that's
able to
pretty,
learn,
you truly see those people sitting in the corner with these near signs.
I mean, that's how he was the type of person.
But is he weird?
Do you know our vocabulary words?
Right, Alex is right.
I know some of them.
Which ones do you know?
He can't see that.
What do you think?
But he can't see that.
Oh, I thought you were talking about yourself.
No,
Are you an illusionist?
Oh, like I've defined them all, but I just don't remember them off the top of my head.
Right, and now it is still
Well,
happening.
this one
right?
is, the text speaks of being shackled to a wall and prisoners only knowing what it. What? Okay, so I'll read this.
The text speaks to the shape of the. Where did you stop?
Just
Just
read
read
the whole
the whole thing.
The text speaks of being shackled in the wall of
You
prisoners.
can't even.
No, we can't.
You want me to read it for you? The text speaks of being shackled to a wall and prisoners only knowing what is in front of them. What is Plato really describing?
Much better.
Why do you think this? And then use two vocab terms to describe your answers.
Uh-oh.
There you go,
So
loaded
what do you
question.
think he's describing?
Wow. That is one loaded question.
Yeah, it is.
Why did it just get real quiet?
Everybody's trying to hear your answer, I guess.
Wait, what did he say?
I noticed it too.
What did he say?
Oh,
So-
I said that is one loaded question, the third question.
So what do you think he's really describing when people are shackled to a wall?
He's describing how people refuse to perceive anything else as their reality.
What about two vocab terms? So you have perceive, which is perspective, so that's good. What else?
Maybe illusion,
Good, okay.
something.
What's an illusion?
Basically, it looks like something, but it's at the same time not.
Okay, so
How do you want to explain that? It looks like they're staring at a wall.
We could just say that
what's the illusion here, Alex? What are they looking at that's actually an illusion?
they're looking at a bunch of shadows,
And what are shadows?
like a what's its face, like a I don't exactly know how to say it, like a reflection kind of thing, but at the same time not
Okay.
of a real object.
Okay, so you said key term there. It's not real, is it?
It's not real, but it at the same time is kind of real.
Okay, and they believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please still be the vocab credit.
What,
Keep moving or questions?
Well, yeah, because on here.
That's the one you're thinking about, live document.
That's just
Whatever you guys on.
Who did this? 3, okay, we're on 2. So Plato's point of view can be considered melancholy yet realistic. Why? Melancholy means like depressed, kind of sad, gloomy. So, like for example, in the cave, in my opinion, the gloom of the story was the fact that, I mean, there's that, but more or less the guy had gone out, found new knowledge, found out things people didn't know, like new technology. Like, I'll put it in today's terms. Like, let's say someone went out and found a cure for cancer, and then came back, and we just stabbed him because he found the cure to cancer. That was melancholy. That was the, like, it's
But
kind of
yeah, what's the connection? What's your connection?
flat out stabbed him.
Why is that a connection? He walks out of the cave and he sees something new, but when he goes back, what? Do people believe him?
No.
No,
People
just
don't
like if
believe
somebody
him.
did the
It's
same thing.
ridiculed.
Good, okay, so,
It's realistic because people don't like change. People keep
Okay.
moving our questions and I'm getting angry.
Okay, I have
good. Not that you're angry,
No.
but that you got that question.
Oh, it's because people are typing. I just realized that. I'm not the very. Oh.
How we doing?
we're doing great.
What number are we?
Yeah, it's because people are typing.
The loaded question.
Yeah. That's what it is. I just realized that.
Alright, so what vocab terms are you using?
I can't. Okay.
Point of
You see, there's so many like
Now,
selectors
what
right
point of view are you talking about?
Yeah,
view that they have.
Are you talking about the actual point of view?
that's why I like typed one letter, so I don't.
Remember we talked about that difference yesterday, right?
Wow.
We think literarily what
She
a point
just
of view
read
is, right? Compared to what
I
perspective
think it's
is.
unchanging.
So point of view is their personal shit.
The point of view of the story.
Oh, point of view of the story.
Yes, so we're reading the story, remember I called it frame story, do you remember why? Because there's a story within the story. So if we're reading the story from Socrates and Plato's point of view, it's not, because they're talking about a story, right? So it'd be what? Yes. Now the perspective, you can take your personal perspective on why you think this,
Select it all.
they're changed. What is the real meaning behind them being chained and being shackled to the wall? Okay. You can use both.
Where did the question go?
Yeah, it moves because everybody's typing. Okay, group, oh, what, 6? I don't even remember. 5. How are we doing?
We're on 2.
Okay. So, Plato's point of view can be considered melancholy. So we talked about melancholy, right? Everybody kind of get what that means.
Sad, depressed, other synonyms, or
Right, okay, so what can we connect that to nowadays? Like, sad but realistic.
sad but realistic. The fact that people get
Okay, it's sad, but it's gonna happen. Alright, any other questions, guys?
I want to just do mine.
Alright. Stevie, you doing okay with this? Okay. Alright, let's move. Got about 6 minutes left. How are we doing? Number 3. Alright, so you know what vocab words you're gonna use?
Who's gonna be the first?
Why aren't these
Word, illusion.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's happy in my
That you get the most.
Yeah.
Does anybody else use anything else like paradigm? Anybody use paradigm?
No, we can't, but you can do
Institution, what about institution?
Why we live
So if he's just really describing people not being shackled, right? We all have a duty, like a job that we have to do because of what? The grander scheme, right, society. So you could definitely conclude like an institution here. You're in one right now, right? You have to do that. You have to graduate to go on with life.
You know the order our names are in?
Awesome.
That's also the order we've been.
What? I am
Any questions? Are we doing okay?
really.
Okay, so
Is there
the text
speaks
speaks.
don't like crazy, don't like
No, it doesn't.